Preparing live feed. Checking for connection. Shows that it went live. We are officially live. Checking. Yep, we're there. Okay, let me bring up the presentation.
It does on mine.
That's what I just.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it does on mine.
Okay, everybody should see the presentation on the feed now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it started. Sound good, Kathy?
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you everyone for attending the East Springfield Neighborhood Council Board and Police Beat meeting for April 20th, 2021. As always, we want to hear from you. You can connect with us through our Facebook page, our website, or YouTube. If you are watching this video on YouTube later, if you could hit the subscribe button, that would be great. Trying to get the number of subscribers we need to lock in the name. Facebook, you can like or follow while you're there. As always, meetings are recorded and posted on our social pages for review the next day. At this point, I am going to turn the meeting over to our council president, Kathy Brown.
Thank you, Guy. Let us please start with the pledge to the American flag. I pledge allegiance,
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Welcome to the East Springfield Neighborhood Council Board and Police Team meeting. I'm calling the meeting to order and we do have a quorum. We do want to hear from you. Your issues are extremely important because we are all neighbors working together. Contact us if you have a particular interest or skill that you'd like to share with us. We can use all the help we can get. I'm going to move on. Monthly conference call with the plazas. Meetings continue. The potholes that were mentioned at the last meeting, I believe, have all been patched, although we've found a few more and we've turned those into the property management or the receiver for that property. And we expect that they will be fixed as quickly as the last pile of potholes. If there are any other issues over at the plaza, please just feel free to email us or reach out to us through our Facebook, and we'd be glad to make sure they get on the next agenda with the receivers for the plaza. City services continue to operate. They're in full bore. The 311 is a great resource. Please continue to report appropriate items so that they get logged in and then the appropriate city department can work on them. We continue to focus on curb appeal because the way our community looks to people when they come into the community makes a difference. First impressions count. So we are continue to encourage everyone to report graffiti, shopping carts, shopping carriages that have run astray, street lights, traffic lights that aren't working or misting or faded, and any sidewalks that need repair or replacement. I'm glad to see that quite a few sidewalks in East Springfield are in the process of being replaced or renovated. And that's most of those are being done because people called in or requested for sidewalks to be repaired. So good job, everybody. Our newsletter will be mailed this week and probably Thursday or Friday. It's in its 99% draft form. And the next newsletter will go out in June. The June newsletter will be mailed to every residential address in East Springfield. That's about 2,850 residential addresses. And we will always, as always, email to other emails that we have. Okay, the next item on our agenda, I think maybe Irene or Guy would like to speak to this, please. It's the art box.
Sure. So we're in the process now. We've come up with some ideas for the Art Box project. We were awarded funding from the Mass and Springfield Cultural Councils. Last year we had to shift gears a little bit. We weren't able to do the in-person workshops that we were able to do the prior year. And we're just sort of going along with what we can do. So we're doing curbside art, art out of the box. The supplies are starting to get purchased. We purchased some of them a couple days ago. We're doing some more shopping later today to build these boxes. And the first run will be 200 boxes that'll be available. There will be a sign up for it. We'll let folks know, just please keep checking back on the Facebook page for when that'll be announced. The same way we did last time, you just register, you get put on the list. It's first come, first serve. And then we'll update folks when we know when we're getting close to the end of that list. There will be some additional funding left over. We're hoping that we may have some in-person projects. Fingers crossed. If depends on how things turn out towards the end of the year. We never know at this point. If that does not happen, then we'll shift gears again and we will do another art out of the box style project so that we can get art into our community and just, give something for folks to do at home, especially as kids are just coming out of school, giving them some projects that they can work on.
Thank you, Irene.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, Guy, do you want to address the broadband enrolling program? Did I
Would
lose-
help if I came off mute.
It would.
We're gonna have more information out on this on our Facebook page towards the end of the month. It's supposed to go live for you to actually be able to sign up somewhere around the last week of April, they're saying. Quite a few people will qualify for this, but it's limited to the funding runs out. So basically, everybody can sign up if they qualify. They can get stipends at different levels for different types of products or services. Comcast is one of the list of providers, as well as some of the actual other things that you can use for like mobile data. The qualification list is very long. Anything from if you have SNAP or Medicaid or Social Security income or different tribal programs. Even if you made up to $200,000 for a couple or $100,000 for an individual and you lost income or lost your job during the pandemic, you would qualify. Pell Grant participants, all sorts of different qualifications. And supposedly it's going to be a very easy process. I'm going to, the second it goes live, work with my mother to help her sign up, and then I'll have more information on how it works. But it's supposed to go live in the next week or two. We put the information on Nextdoor. We put the information on our Facebook page already. It will be on the agenda list. So keep your eyes out for it and hope everybody can take advantage to hopefully get some money back right now for their internet costs. It's supposed to go until the money runs out or till the end of the pandemic once you qualify. So that could be quite a while or not, depending on how many people go through.
Okay. Thank you. That's exciting because every little bit helps, particularly for those people who have been impacted financially by the pandemic. Thank you, Guy.
No problem.
Okay. The next item, the St. James Avenue, St. James Boulevard area, that vacant lot that used to be the Serviu building. And we have been notified that Kentucky Fried Chicken intends to locate there. They will need a special permit from the city council for a drive-through window. The Kentucky Fried Chicken people and the property owner will attend our meeting on May 4th to give a presentation and to ask for support or for their special permit for their drive-through window. Technically, this location is in Hungry Hill, so we will certainly take our lead from the Hungry Hill Neighborhood Council. And we're in the process of inviting them to get the same kind of information through our Zoom and through our Facebook Live. But more to come on that, but join in on May 4th and you'll hear the plans that the property owner has for the Kentucky Fried Chicken at that location. We have been advised that the marijuana applicants will be notified mid-May if they prevailed or if they did not prevail in their applications. They were supposed to be notified about a week and a quarter ago. but there has been a delay in that. So we're now told that it's mid-May. For people who didn't hear, there were 4 different proposals for East Springfield. So we don't know which one will get it, if they will get it, because it's a citywide process. Okay, thank you. The Suboxone Clinic that has proposed to go into Cottage Street is going to the City Council on Monday, April 26th for their City Council special permit hearing. If you have questions on that, just give us a call, shoot us an email. Okay, and now I'd like to introduce to the team, to the viewing audience. Slow down. Farah Rodriguez, she has indicated that she's interested in being a board member of the East Springfield Neighborhood Council. She's been active in the neighborhood for a couple of years. She's lived in the neighborhood, I think she said 8 or 9 years. And so she meets the requirements, and she met with the board about a week ago, and lots of questions were asked back and forth. So if I could have a motion from somebody to nominate Farah to fill in the board vacancy.
I put
I'll
forward the
make that
motion.
motion.
Okay, and can I have a second?
30 seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Welcome, Farah, to our crazy little group that really represents the entire neighborhood. So welcome very much. We're excited to have your energy join us.
Thank
Yes,
you.
You're welcome.
You're muted, Farah. You're on mute. Thank
Thank you. Thank you. I hope to make each of you proud in our little neck of the woods proud.
Right.
Great, thank you, Farah. Okay, the Check Your Speed event for April 9th was very successful. John, did you just want to comment on that?
Yeah, no, it was, it worked out, the weather cooperated with us. We actually had 2 units, 2 cruisers there, and we officers in training at that event, and pleased to have the neighborhood out and be able to partner with people from the neighborhood and from the East Springfield Neighborhood Council. So it was a good event. The weather was good. They were able to help us enforce a number of folks that didn't respond to our Check Your Speed signs. And actually, as it worked out at the end of the event, there was a person there that they had stopped. And we were actually able to be introduced to that neighbor. He was new in the neighborhood, and fortunately, he just received a warning for his. But we were able to introduce ourselves, and he indicated a real interest in well, actually, he wanted to meet us, and we had a chance to meet him and get introduced to him, and he's new to the neighborhood and wants to get involved with the neighborhood council. So lots of good things happen with these events. So.
And we had our city state rep with us.
Yes. Thank you for remembering that. Maria and I are actually in midst of a vacation here in South Dakota right now. So my mind isn't exactly in the neighborhood. So thank you, Brenda, for reminding me that our state rep was there. Appreciated his participation, and I know. Watching him at the event, he introduced himself to some folks there on Page Boulevard.
Yes, he did.
Yes, and we know that area, Page Boulevard, is an issue for us. So I'm hoping some other things come out of that particular event, along with reminding folks to do the speed limit. So our next Check Your Speed event, we won't have one in May, but we will have an event in June. And those officers that were there helping us from the Traffic Bureau are actually asking us about when our next event would be, because they want to work with us some more on those. So we're looking forward to having some more Check Your Speed events with the Springfield Police Traffic Bureau being there with us. And Kathy, I know you posted a nice, you took the opportunity to take a picture, and you had it there for us tonight, and that was great. You took the time to do that. So we came away charged up from that event, and that's always good. So thank you, Kathy, for that, giving me some time on it.
Not a problem. Drive like your kids live here, John? You want to address that?
Pardon?
Drive like your kids live here?
Yes, and again, I forget to do these things because we've been doing these all along. We have drive like your kids live here signs available for folks to post in their yard. It's another piece of our program to help reduce speed on our streets and make our streets safer. Also, Kathy, I know you were able to manage getting some check your speed signs that can be posted in folks' yards to help remind people to slow their speed. So neighbors, reach out, let us know you want a sign. We'll get them over to your yards and get them posted. And the more we get around the neighborhood, the better.
Thank you, John. Yeah, it's
You're
exciting.
welcome.
It's an exciting project, really. I think it has really good momentum. Okay. The next slide, please, Guy. Hello. Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay, the Sector C meeting. This is the Springfield Neighborhood Beat Management Team meeting. John is the chair of this. John, do you want to take over, please?
I would love to. Hopefully I get a little,
Oh, you would.
get my head in the space here. For us to get, for the police beat part of the meeting, we have Sue Haley Arce, which is our community police liaison, with us tonight. We also have Lieutenant Sean Arpin, who will do the sector reporting, and Officer Julio Vasquez, our ordinance officer here this evening. So Lieutenant Arpin, I think this would be a good time for us to hear on how well our neighborhood is doing with policing activity.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think overall, I have another good month to report. The crime status reports I'm reporting for will be from period of time from March 14th to April 10th. And there was only one robbery, and that was a domestic. So I can't really go into details on that. It was 86 Windermere. There was 2 aggravated assaults. One was on April 8th, and it was 127 Monrovia Street. And I can't give you any information. It involved suspect was a juvenile, some kind of a event with a neighborhood friend dispute involving pepper spray. Nothing life threatening or anything though. Wednesday, April 7th at 1003 St. James Avenue. I guess a cousin of the victim threatened this person with a taser and waved it at him while activating the taser, not the kind that you fire, the kind that you pull and it arcs. So that's ongoing. I don't know where that's going to go. But that's it for aggravated assaults and robberies. So that's pretty good. Burglary B&Es. There was a B&E at the Speedway gas station at 80 St. James Boulevard on Friday, March 26th. It was about between 11:15 and 11:30 at night. Video captures a young light-skinned male attempting to get in, trying to break in, and he actually does not get in, and he's shown being scared off by a truck that pulls up. I don't think the truck maybe even knew he was there, but it scared him off anyhow. Moving on to brakes in motor vehicles. This is the only place I'm noticing a problem, and I'm going to try to address it with the new we got some new supervisors, so I'm going to go into addressing it with the midnight supervisors, make sure that they're aware of this and see if they can come up with some kind of game plan. But anyway, so what it appears to be is, I'll go through it, but it appears to be we got somebody that's figured out breaking into trucks,
Mhm.
and and I'm talking trucks like semi-trailers, that kind of thing, box trucks, getting stuff out of there. And if that's not bad enough, then they're cutting off a catalytic converter. And the catalytic converters for those things have got to be, if it's a semi-trailer, that could be a couple of $2,000-$3,000 to replace. I mean, I guess it's insured and everything, but still, this is really annoying. So we've got a few of those. They don't have exact times on any of them, but I know it's occurring at night. It's definitely occurring overnight when it's dark. So the first one would be March 18th, 87 Corando Drive, a Roto-Rooter truck. The lock was cut on the rear door, and unfortunately $12,000 worth of estimated work equipment was stolen from that truck. The next one would be March 24th, which looks like a few of these happened on March 24th, 25th. I'm thinking it's the same guy or guys. 119 Cadwell on March 24th, Boston trailer. Those padlocks were also cut. So our guys are coming equipped with burglarious tools. And it was 2 trailers that were hit here at Cadwell. They ended up taking about $9,500 worth of tools and the catalytic converters. Video did capture 2 men with flashlights, but that's all it makes out. We can't get a race. We can't really get any features or anything like that. So kind of still coming up dry in that right now. Thursday, March 25th, which was the following day, 121 Memorial Drive, Climate Engineering Truck and Trailer Refrigeration. Unfortunately, they left their truck unlocked due to a malfunctioning locking system. And the video shows, again, 2 similar style people with dark hoodies. All that was taken there was about $300 worth of stuff, lights and speakers. But I'm thinking it might be the same guys. Again, the next 2 are on going back a day, the previous day on the 24th, 357 Cottage Street at Homeworks, 5 catalytic converters taken from 5 separate trucks. Again, two males wearing dark hoodies and masks. Nothing that we can make out who it is. In that one, though, we did get a little bit of a break. There's a possible involved, a gold Honda Civic. So they're working on video, and DB Property Crimes is working on this. 2 saws were taken also out of these vehicles, totaling about $1,000. Then we had 53 Turnbull Street, GEG Construction, 5 catalytic converters taken from 5 trucks there as well, approximately $6,000 in value. So as you can see, most of my bad news revolves around that same issue, but it seems like there's a clear pattern and there's a clear connection. So, I mean, they may have already started doing some things, but like I said, I'm gonna get in touch with the lieutenant and the captain on midnights, and because it's got to be happening then. I mean, it's got to be happening anywhere from like 10 p.m. to 4 o'clock in the morning would be my guess. So I don't know if we can maybe get some permission to have some undercover guys out there or what. That'll probably have to go by the commissioner. But again, I'm going to put this to those lieutenants. I do these meetings, but I basically, am in charge of days. So I have to just kind of inform them and get them in the right direction while I'm doing the meeting. So hopefully they'll be able to come up with some kind of game plan. I'm sure Captain Toledo will be more than happy to work with them. So that's it for Schedule 1 crimes. Moving on to quality of life calls. There were 2 calls for suspicious activity, and none of those panned out. One was for 35 Birch Street, and another one was for Bowles Elementary School. Then there were 7 calls for suspicious motor vehicles, and let's see. It looks like all of those were either they called back taken care of, which means they found out that people were legitimate, or there was nothing really going on illegal or anything. And then there were several that were unfounded or unable to find anything, unable to locate. There were 4. Well, I can tell you the addresses of them. They were 60 Bowles Park, 164 Corona, 93 Fernwald, 146 Bowles, call for Marshall Roy, 134 Linnell, and Little John and Lang intersection. Then there were 4 calls for suspicious person. Again, nothing, he was either taken care of or unfounded. That was 69 Edendale. Bowles Elementary again, Mario Pottinger, and 1456 Carew Street. Unnecessary call noise, 32 calls. So we're up high in that area. Let's see. Yeah, and all those were either people were advised to turn down their music and their loud, whatever they were doing to make loud noise, or unfounded. So no reports were made and no citations or arrests or anything further on that. Let's see if we got anything else here. We got 3 calls for hotspots, for 3 calls for drug activity. One particular one at 85 Fernwald Street, subject was advised. They didn't find anything. And then the other 2 were unfounded, Baldwin and Fernwald and Putnam and Fernwald. Then there were 3 calls for gun calls. And there's one of them, actually, a report was made at Speedway, 80 St. James Boulevard. The other 2 just they called it back assist, so it must have been something other than a gun. 18 Santa Barbara and 1 Performance Boulevard. Let's see. Some other arrests here. 506 Cottage Street on the 16th of March. Let's see, this was a narcotics raid or bust. They charged distribution, Class A heroin, trafficking in cocaine in excess of 100 grams and less than 200 grams. Trafficking in 18 grams of or more and less than 36 of fentanyl. Possession of a large capacity firearm ×2. Firearm without FID ×2. High capacity magazine ×1. Improper storage. The suspect's name was Juan Colon of 2994 Main Street. Looks like he's about 40 years old. Let's see, actually 42, I think. 42 years old. And that happened at 506 Cottage. So I don't know if it was a car stop or a house, or I'm not sure. Then we have, let's see, 50 E Street, I guess, possession of Class A. The suspect is Cesar Vasquez of 63 Pier Street. That occurred on the 31st of March. 85 Putnam on the 31st. There was a malicious destruction of property, a possession to distribute Class A heroin, and actual distribution. That looks like a narcotics thing as well. The suspect arrested was Christopher A. Marin, M-A-R-I-N, of 19 Williams Sands Jr. Road. Let's see. Looks like there was more than one arrested there. Another one arrested was a J.C. Perez, who resides in Chicopee, 290 East Main Street in Chicopee. And they were arrested for possession of Class A heroin. 20 West Canton Circle. Let's see. That looks like that's a domestic, so I can't really get into that. And it looks like they just have Carew Street. There was an arrest for carrying a firearm ×2 without a license. A and B on a police officer resisting arrest, carrying a loaded firearm on a way multiple times. The guy arrested there was Nathan Jomar Mercado of 89 Forest Park Avenue. And there was a lot of officers involved in that. 24 Cameron Street. No, that's ages. I can't go into that one. Okay. So that pretty much covers everything. I'm going over those extra things that aren't considered Schedule 1 just to make you guys aware of that there's work being done. It's not just the Schedule 1 stuff. So, you know, guys are out there. Narcotics is focusing in that area, as you can see. And like I said, I'm going to speak to the midnight guys next time I go into work and see if they can start hitting their heads together and decide what they're going to do, probably a little more than just having people, you know, drive through areas and stuff like that. Maybe we can get a surveillance thing going. So I'll run that by him, but it'll ultimately be that captain's decision. So, and his lieutenant. So that's all I have for today for this month.
John?
Oh, yes, Lieutenant, I wanted to ask you, well, before we get into that, I guess we'll continue with reports, and we could have questions and answers after everybody's complete. Maybe that's the best way to do that. So I'd like to, if our ordinance officer, Officer Vasquez, if you have anything to report out for us.
I am monitoring Mallory Village, Putnam Circle, Fernwall, Fairgut Street. I have been issuing parking tickets for cars that are parked illegally. I am working with narcotics and relaying information. Monitoring previous noise complaints in the area of Page Boulevard, Watland Street, Curve Street, Cadwell Drive, El Paso Street, and Carew Street. I'm also keeping an eye on Bowes Street, Bowes Park School and Pottinger School and Marshall Roy, checking for the homeless situations and suspicious activity. I am aware that there's an older woman walking around and opening the school doors. I'm not sure what her conditions are or what her If she has any disabilities or anything, I'm still in the area trying to identify her, and I'll probably do a field interview for that one. I'm also monitoring Page Boulevard, St. James Ave, St. James Boulevard for the speeding, the mufflers, and Chapter 90 stuff, which is involving vehicles. I do keep in touch with Clean City about the shopping carts and the illegal dumping. They've been monitoring and picking up a little bit more without my assistance. And I have been keeping in touch with code enforcement about the vacant houses and multiple ownerships on the properties, making sure that they maintain their properties. I spoke with Kathy Brown in regards to the signs at Performance Food Group. They were advised to remove the signs on Roosevelt Ave about hiring truck drivers. And pretty much that's all I have for this month.
Very good. Thank you, Officer Vasquez. And Sue Haley, anything that to report out from a community policing perspective?
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Sue Haley Arce, and I'm the Community Police Liaison with the Springfield Police Department. Just want to share with you all that the DEA and the Springfield Police Department are partnering for the National Drug Take Back event that happens twice a year, once in April and once in October. This Saturday, we will be at 1840 Roosevelt Avenue at the Central High School parking lot collecting medications, stolen, lost, misused, expired medications to make sure that we dispose of them safely so that they don't affect our environment, and also just make sure that they do not go into the improper hands of specific individuals that may abuse these types of medications. As always, if you have any questions or concerns about your neighborhood and just feel the need that you would like to speak to someone about what it is that you are dealing with, please feel free to reach out. I will be happy to leave my information in the chat as I'm available to you all to discuss those concerns. Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you. So I think it'd be a good opportunity now to open things up for any questions that folks may have.
So we had a question about, is the crime activity normal? Are we in good shape as far as crime? Should they be concerned?
I as long as I've been involved in the North, I don't feel like we're off track or in any bad situation. I mean, we're going to have some amount of crime, and I don't feel that we're in any alarming rates. I think the main focus, like I said, is finding these guys breaking into these trucks. We got to catch these guys. I wouldn't say I'd say we're in decent shape, other than what I've iterated about the guys that are breaking into the trucks and the businesses and stealing the catalytic converters. I think we're in pretty good shape.
All right, and then the only other question we had, which kind of wasn't, it's not like crime related, but who do we contact about adding a street light on Oklahoma Street? Would that be 311 to start, Kathy?
Yeah, it would be 311 to start. And then I think that if the person could reach out to us to give us specific details, we can then give them a little bit more direction. It's harder to do than one would think. But please have whoever reach back out to us via our email or through the telephone, and we'll give them some direction, and they can work with us on that.
Okay, and then the last one was just a question on the location of the potential KFC, and we answered that in the feed because that was the old Surview buildings.
Yeah.
That's all we got from the feed and the email right now.
Okay. Are there any questions from the team, from the board?
I'd like to ask the lieutenant, these thefts of catalytic converters, where do these where is the money, where do they take these to get money
That's
for?
a good question.
Mhm.
The Detective Bureau they're not doing it around here. So, I mean, I don't know how far they're going out. They could be loading these up on a truck and sending them out 8 states west to some back room thing that we don't have any control of, that they don't really monitor out there. And it's been kind of eluding us. So I think the only way is to get lucky and have, you know, get some cars out there and either just catch them by luck or surveil or something. The thing is, it's like, you know, you go there and you watch it all night, nothing happens. You know, it's tough. But it's out of control. I mean, it's not one here, one there.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
obviously in a month's time, you know, and that's an ass ache for these people. I mean, these are legitimate businesses that are dealing with the COVID and all that stuff. And yeah, they're probably insured, and yeah, but it's still, you know, what a pain in the ass having to change your, you know, go in and take each truck and have a catalytic converter put back in it. I feel awful for these people.
Yes.
So, yeah. But yeah, they're all over the local areas. Everybody around here that could or would take a catalytic converter is they're under pretty tough watch and administrative. You know, they get administrative visits from the detective bureau. So you'd be really putting your business at jeopardy around here if you're taking those in. So I don't think it's happening here. I think they're running them out of states.
Okay.
And just and thank you, Lieutenant. And for Julio, one of the things I have noticed recently on St. James Avenue are contractors for Associated Building Wreckers are using engine brakes in the neighborhood. I haven't been able to get a name of on a truck. When I hear it, sometimes I just not in a position to be able to see the name on the truck. If I do catch the name on the truck, I will call the company and ask them to be reminded that engine brakes shouldn't be used. I don't know whether it would make sense for us to reach out to Associated Building Wreckers and make them aware that, you know, to let their contractors know that engine brakes aren't allowed in the city of Springfield. But I noticed that activity when they were moving materials out of the old Party World and Servview building, that Associated Building Wreckers was demolishing. With no structure going back and forth, some of them were using engine brake, not all of them.
Okay, I'll keep
John.
an eye out.
And
John, may I ask?
I don't know whether it's a knock on the door with a guy that's wearing a badge to say, hey, we've received a complaint. Let your guys know, let your contractors know. I know sometimes when I make those phone calls, I get the wah, 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 yeah, right, we'll let our guys know. But sometimes when a guy shows up with a badge on, it has a different impact.
John, what is an engine brake? Forgive me for not knowing.
It's a device on a large vehicle that's used rather than using just the brakes on the truck. It uses engine compression to slow the vehicle down, slow the truck down.
And it's noisy.
So is that when it makes that loud noise?
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
I know some.
They also call them Jake brakes sometimes because of the.
But they're, you know, some guys that drive those rigs like to run them because they like making the noise. They like the noise it makes. It's kind of like
Is the complaint mostly the noise that it makes, or is it
Yes.
also like bad for the air and that kind of thing, or is it just basically the loud noise?
It's the noise that it makes. I mean, you'll see a lot of communities will have signs coming in the communities asking trucks to refrain using them, or it's against the law to use them.
Yeah, and in Springfield.
Okay, I know what
it's
you're talking about now.
It's a noise issue, and fortunately on St. James Avenue, we don't get a lot of truck traffic, but there are signs posted on as you get off exit 4 from I-291 and on St. James Avenue. There's a sign posted saying that the use of engine brakes in the city of Springfield is against the law and is punishable by fine.
It's on Page Boulevard too.
Okay.
Page Boulevard, we had signs put all over East Springfield gateway streets, so that folks would know that they're illegal to use. Personally, my feeling is these are professional truck drivers. They should know when they're in residential areas that engine
Not to use them.
are not appropriate for those areas.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, thank you.
When I talked about them with truck drivers, I've had truck drivers say, well, we use them because it's safer, that it stops the truck quicker. And my answer has always been, well, if you're driving the speed limit, it shouldn't be an issue. You're a professional driver. You should know not to use them. And
Speed limit's 30.
right, they shouldn't be needed if you're driving the speed limit or less.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I
Other
know.
questions?
I know, Kathy, I've kind of beat the engine brake thing to death.
No, that's good. We worked a long time to get that stuff all, legislatively put in place. So we might as well make sure that it gets, attention it's due.
And I just have one other thing for Officer Vasquez. It's on the higher number end of Merida Street. There is a truck that's starting to park on the tree belt. It's a global industrial. It's a commercial vehicle, heavier duty pickup. It's got Global Industries written on the side of it.
Probably around.
I think it's around 90 Merida Street. It parks there in the evenings. It's parking on the tree belt. It's probably after your hour.
We see it in the morning.
Right. Sometimes it's there in the morning, but again, one of those things we like to have you looking for in the neighborhood are people that are, parking on the tree belt. I don't know why he's decided to do that, but he's probably been doing that for a couple of months now.
All right, I'll take care of it in the morning. I'll look for it and see if I find it.
Yeah. Appreciate it. And again, I know you're doing a lot of Chapter 90 stuff and what have you, and we appreciate that, but that's another one of those things in the neighborhood where if we get after it early on, it kind of nips it so that we don't have folks parking on I don't know why folks feel compelled to need to park on the tree belt, but if you see those kinds of things, you can put a little note on it or knock on the door. That's really appreciated.
Okay,
anything
sir.
else? Thank you. Thank you very much. Anything else? Any other
Kathy?
questions? Yeah, Lynn,
Kathy, Kentucky Fried Chicken is across the street. Are they moving?
Kennedy Fried Chicken?
Kentucky Fried Chicken is like next door to Subway, but
No,
No.
that's Kennedy Fried Chicken.
oh,
So we will have then, if this one goes in, we'll have a Kentucky Fried Chicken, a Kennedy Fried Chicken, a Chicky D's, and then the one that's right beyond the Big
Big
Y.
Y. Oh my
Well, there'll
goodness.
be four within like, I don't know,
And
400
technically the Big
yards.
Y.
And the Big Y, right.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a chicken in our neighborhood.
No.
Yeah.
And River Valley Medical, what's going on with that?
No clue.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know
It
something that we
There
don't
was
know?
there was activity there about a month ago and all of a sudden it stopped.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody else want to bring up anything for Officer Vasquez or Lieutenant Arpin?
I would just say for cars parking on the lawn and the tree belt, right along Cruise Street, seeing that quite a bit there. And then just the next meeting is May 4th.
All right. Well, thank you very much then. We will adjourn the meeting. Anybody, Lieutenant, if you're willing to hang in there for 2 minutes, I would appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay, so let's close the meeting. Thank you very much. And Guy's going to disconnect